Welcome to Susie's Disney Adventure. I am your host, your ghost host.
Susie's Disney Adventure.
Good morning. It's 5:37 a.m. Obviously it's dark outside. I'm still at the train station because I have a very, very early start. I thought this was a good opportunity to talk about one of the fun things you come across when you first start Disney. Because I know a lot of people have been worrying, asking, whichever you call it, about what happens in kind of that first couple of days, because Yummy Jobs don't necessarily describe very well, and their description this year threw me slightly, because I think it's talking about clothing or something, appropriate clothing, and they say, oh, don't worry about what you're wearing when you get off the plane, but from the following day you start orientation and you'll need business attire for orientation. Now, things could have changed this year, but last year, the first couple of days of orientation, we were just in our normal clothes, because it was just things like housing meetings and stuff. We weren't actually doing business type stuff. The only two times that you wore business attire or professional attire were traditions and park orientation. And possibly some people may have had to wear it for their first day at work, so to speak. As in, when you're at your location, as opposed to being at traditions or just generally around the park. So one thing if that's the same case this year, I would highly recommend that you take two sets of top that go with the same bottom half of your outfit, just because you may not have time or enough washing yet to validate doing a wash between traditions and park orientation. That's what I did last year and it worked out really well. Yes, so again, I don't know, it could have changed this year, but then equally Yummy Job said you only need one outfit, so I'm not entirely sure. I think they were just mixing up orientation with traditions, and it gets a bit confused. So why am I vlogging at this time in the morning? Well, partly because I was having a lazy day yesterday, also because, well, you can arrive, I mean, you'll see already if you've been on any of the ICV related Facebook groups, everyone's time of arrival will vary slightly. I don't think, unless you're arriving the previous day or something.
Welcome aboard the Southwest train service to London Waterloo.
Yeah, so unless you're arriving the previous day, everyone is probably arriving in the afternoon. Which part of the afternoon when you're arriving in depends mostly on whether you're having a direct flight or going
Safety information is displayed in all coaches. Do try to keep all personal items with you. If you see anything suspicious, please tell a member of staff.
Or going via somewhere. I know last year I was due to get into Orlando at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something, and most people were taking the BA flights, so weren't due to get in until 5:30, something like that. Yeah, but, and I don't know if other people find this when they go to the US. I find that the morning after I get in, I wake up crazy early, like, I'll wake up at something like 6 in the morning, and I'm like, because and you don't feel tired, you just kind of feel like, oh my god, it's 6 in the morning, there's nothing to do. But you'll find all the orientation sessions start early in the morning. Disney's business day, if they were doing a kind of 9 to 5ish, would start at like 7:30 in the morning. So if you are lucky enough to get the morning tradition session, which with what I'm about to say, you can think, oh god, I really don't want morning, but you want the morning because then you can do whatever you want in the afternoon and you're free to go to the class. But the morning session, it was something like we had to get the bus at 7 in the morning, and obviously you're trying to get ready as well, so it's kind of like if you're lucky enough to be in a 3-bedroom apartment at Vista Way, which chances are most people will be, and you don't get the ensuite bedroom, then you'll be sharing one bathroom between the 4 of you. And if you all have the same traditions time, you've got to account for it. Like, I recommend talking to each other the previous night and kind of working out what everyone's doing, because it's crazy and ridiculous trying to get ready all of it. It's the only time pretty much you'll all be getting ready at the same time on those first 3 days. After that you all get ready at different times, so it's not a problem, but that first 3 days is like run for the bathroom kind of thing. Last night I had quite a pleasant surprise. Someone on one of the ICP groups linked to another ICP group, which is one of these new weird Facebook groups. So anyway, I joined this new group, and I'm scrolling down to see what interesting topics people have been talking about that I've been missing, and I discover one that says, do any of you know Suzie, who does the vlogs? And I was like, god, I hope it's good, because I don't really want to kind of read this if it's going to be like totally trashy. And sure enough, it went on to say, oh yeah, she seems really sweet and I'm really excited to meet her. So thanks, Gabrielle.
This train is for
really
London
sweet,
Waterloo.
you want to meet me.
The next station is
And
Farm.
then everyone was like, oh yeah, I know her, or yeah, I watched them. That guy thought I was totally weird talking to myself. I watched them, or oh, can you let me see them, or whatever. So thank you very much. And I think it's Josh said, oh, do you feel like a mini internet celebrity? And as someone who studied celebrity, it's kind of a bit weird asking yourself whether you feel like that, but it is kind of, it's different this time around to last year, because last year other people were kind of doing the same thing at the same time, so I didn't feel quite so kind of like, people know me. And also this year, there's obviously, I've done like loads more vlogs that people are joining kind of halfway through almost. So it is slightly different, and I guess because I spend my life watching loads of theatre and stuff, my idea of celeb is not necessarily what everyone else's idea of celebrity is, things like that. But I won't lie, it's kind of cool that people recognise me of these in a good way, hopefully not in a bad way, because that's really embarrassing. So, hello to everyone that posted on that particular little thread type thing. Apologies for making it so difficult to find me on Facebook. I obviously deliberately try to avoid using my last name on here, but I'm glad you did manage to find me. So said, I am trying to make it to Birmingham for the meetup. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you too. No doubt I'll wear my Disney College Program t-shirt or something. Obviously I'm wearing my lovely student union t-shirt today because I'm about to go to work at the Barbican, because that's where we graduate from. Yeah. But speaking of Barbican, actually, one of the things that came up that I did this particular job, because it's like a one-off type thing for graduation, last week, and the manager I'm working with, when I arrived at 7:30 in the morning, gives me a sheet of paper, and he's like, oh, while I'm moving boxes around, you just familiarise yourself with the products we're selling. And you know, they're all kind of, I don't know how many items were on there, probably about 20 to 30 items on there, and including different sizes of hoodies and things like that. And they've all got fairly standard prices in there, and most of them are sort of £20, £25, £15, that kind of thing. Some slightly more unusual prices, and they're like £1.50 or whatever. Anyway, so I'm looking at that sheet, and about 2 or 3. By the way, I should preface this with, I have the worst memory in the world. Like, I can remember who's been in what movie, but can I remember what I did 2 days ago? No. So he gives me this sheet, and I've looked at it, and I've kind of put it down to one side, and he comes past, he's like, so Suzie, how much is a tie? And I go, £18. No, I didn't, I said £20, because it's not £18, it's £20. And he's like, whoa, that was quick. And I'm sat there thinking, well, I didn't really think about it when I was glowing, but this is something I had to do for Glow, and you couldn't, when you're in the dark, you can't easily read off the price list. So you did have to know the prices, and you did have to learn them, not quite that quickly, but you had to learn them sort of within your first 2 shifts. But pretty much by the end of the first shift, you knew them, you just didn't necessarily have confidence in it. So that was one of those skills that I apparently learned from Disney and had no idea until last Wednesday that I had picked up that skill. And after we'd done the shift, he was saying, oh, you really love interacting with people. I was like, well, it's kind of hard not to become like that once you've worked for Disney, because you're used to not just serving people kind of like, here, have you there, I'm going to throw it at you or whatever. You interact with them and you deliberately ask things, you know, and kind of start a conversation. So yeah, I'm going to turn this off because loads more people are getting off the train, and I will look like a complete weirdo. So, happy Monday, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.
Suzie.